back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Rodgers going to come out throwing. And incomplete to open things up.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Is that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. Here's Rodgers. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially nothing left with a 3rd and 2.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. A check down here to Jones. And he is going to have a Packers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Well, that's how you use your safety valve, CD. He didn't appear to be the intended target, but they got it to him, and he was able to get just enough to pick up the first.
And what a great example of where we are right now in the NFL, because if you're a running back, you're not just going to carry it. You got to catch it out of the backfield as well. Those combo guys, they're the ones everyone wants on their team.
On play action, Rodgers rolling to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
On 2nd and 10, Rodgers. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield to 4 and 3. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 27-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And why do you go out and trade for a guy like this defensively? Well, an instant impact in your pass rush is reason number 1.
And let's think about it. You want a guy who can create big plays for your team. Takeaways, fumbles, you name it. That's what you want from a big-time player on the defensive side of the ball.
right side to Williams. And he'll get this up to right around the 8-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in Week 4. And it was the Lions who got the road victory in that one, so they'll be looking to claim the season series now here at home in Detroit. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing in run support and tackling the runner for a loss.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Now Jones. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just start out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to it. Hey, you guys got a turnover?
He's got a man, complete. A big play there for Detroit. 69 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. And his kick here is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They fumbled the last time they had the football. Fortunate that it only led to a field goal. 3-0. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And he'll decide to now bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Rodgers. The left side completion to Jones. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. And a good catch there. And Charles, I'm still scratching my head. How is this guy on the free agent wire?
There had to have been something that kept everyone in the league from not signing him during the entire offseason. Now they pick him up here early in the year. They've got to make sure that he does all the right things. But if he does, he could be a big-time performer. And now to common sight, at least on this drive, a momentary setback though for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And he can't find anywhere to go. And he goes down. Devin Bush driving in and picking up the sack. So now here's the former Lion, Matt Prater, on for the field goal. And the 39-year-old veteran puts it right through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far. Finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
They knew they had the free play after the penalty. They get great yardage so they can decline that penalty.
And one of the things we've seen develop more and more in recent years are teams seeing that penalty occur and still taking the big shot downfield and hoping to gain the yardage as we just saw there. They practice it, they work on it, and this time they're successful.
This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw taken in by Hawkinson here. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
First down 10 at the 20-yard line.
Throwing Jones. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Lions go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 17-3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, the answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not have the balls go through goalposts.
This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers with a catch made by Hopkins. So 8 yards on the completion there. And 3rd and 8 now. He came into this game within shouting distance of Dan Marino at 61,361 career yards. And with that last play, Charles, he just went past Dan Marino.
I'm struggling over here. And the only reason is when you hear about him passing a Dan Marino,
a legend,
makes you step back and really take stock of his career, and you realize it's not just about the numbers, it's about the accomplishments, it's about the play. How great has his career been to pass Dan Marino's? I'd say pretty darn great.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. A first-half update now from Philadelphia. The Chargers have scored again, so they open up a 2-touchdown lead. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. To throw again on second down. Jones. And that is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Jones. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he rifles one incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because that incompletion's on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give him another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. Finding Hockenson here on the out route. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
They'll try it now with Swift. Gets by him at the 25. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Terrace Marshall as the first half is winding down. And the Lions will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw pulled in by Hopkins. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Now a timeout signal for him. They'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Throwing now is Rodgers. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Rodgers now on first down. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. Going deep for Hopkins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. On the option to give to Swift here. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll try and run here with Swift. Oh, he's got a little delay. And he will finally be shoved out of bounds down at the 30-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They go play action here on first down. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
You have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Looking to throw. Jones toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Jones. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
Taron Johnson made the stop. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage. This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And there's another stop. One of the league's league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Woods. And he is going to have a Packers first down as the defense nowhere to be found there. A gain of 20 on fourth down. Rodgers going to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 2nd and 2. And again, it's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Here's Rodgers. Wisely will throw that one away.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Rodgers' throw pulled in by Woods. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his... In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now Rodgers gotta have this one. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first, and the Lions will take over. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you, because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, Tom.
Most of the damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now Jones just going to back this forward on the jet sweep. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it. On second down, Swift. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll run the option on third and short yardage. The 20, 10, touchdown, Detroit. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled it to 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. To throw is Rodgers. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed. Great.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked up by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. But with this advantage, this defense knew the passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will extend their lead even further. They're ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
second down, it's Jones. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
Here's Rodgers to throw. As this complete to Woods. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first.
It's now 4th down.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And the slant complete to Hopkins. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Now, 4th quarter is certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 27.